All right, we're a little late tonight because I'm having some wonderful stomach issues tonight. Always gotta love that. Love it when the body does not behave according to the schedule. So this might be a rather short drawing session tonight, but I wanted to get something done. Um, I have some samples here. I wanted to get started on something, honestly. Draw something tonight. It'll probably end up being fan art again, just because I might. It's kind of interesting. But not just fan art. I think I want to try something a little different. I want to experiment a little bit with characters here and with various aspects of art. So I think I'm going to experiment a bit with kind of a style for the thing I want to do. And I'm just going to pull this up. There it is. I need a slightly larger rendition of that. I'm going to play around a little bit with eyes and faces. Get a sense of the kind of the character and the thing I want to do here. I'm kind of interested by these eyes. So if we have a character, so having these kind of angled eyes, make sure I'm getting the right stuff here. And then those lovely brown eyes. Oops. And going in. And then those gentle curves of those eyebrows. Rather lovely. Kind of interesting having that rather sharp thing there. And then we'll just do a little, actually, a rather noticeable nose. Oops, that's not right at all. And then, having trouble with that nose. It should curve a bit. But interestingly, you can actually draw the edge there. And then we'll just do a little mouth. So it's interesting how you have that curve around. I kind of like that. The curve of the eyes. So if that's straight on, which you never actually do, but you actually come down a good amount. So you have like a really pronounced, a very pronounced, strong expression here. Don't like having much of a nose. How do I feel about that? With a curve on the eyebrows. Duly noted. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting enough space for this. That feels a little more right. Definitely feel like I never do the face on correctly. Let me grab a sample. See here, what do I got? Designing, compiling applications, compiling characters, dressing. What do we got? Oh yeah, close, application, practice, compiling characters. So, I've got the eyes awfully far apart. Well, not too awfully. This just feels completely wrong. Yep, that's a mess. All right. So this is something I'm actually glad I'm doing because it's something I want to kind of nail down. Is my fundamental ability to draw like an anime face, which is not great. So I'm gonna start here. Is it? I think so. The one with the guy who's explaining. This is that one. Thinking of that one. Funny characters. That's the one. So the face. Drawing the character. You go on. Faces different angles. How to draw faces applications. Skeletal structure, facial expression. So one of the issues here is kind of assumes everyone knows how to draw eyes. So where are the eyes? So we're seeing here. We've always heard the eyes should be roughly one eye distant. This is actually, and this is like barely one eye distance. Maybe that's my issue. Let's start there. Let me do an eye. And another eye. And then, again, we'll kind of like the idea of pulling that down a little bit more there. And then we will and do our pupils. We'll make really big pupils for now. And then let's look at our, that feels a little better. And then the nose will come down here. No. Nose is a check mark. We're just going to do that. And then, is that feeling roughly anime character-ish? And we have and it's not a great anime character? Right, because I'm going way too... Okay. That's feeling a little better. Let's look at some of these. One thing you do notice about professional artists is that they rarely, we need a little bit more. Yeah, a bit more. They rarely draw characters that's facing you straight on. Probably because it's a very powerful pose. So yeah, so that's a bit much. So maybe that much. That's roughly, that's better. We'll simplify down the mouth. That's better. And then we need those eyes. Those eyebrows. Yeah, not terrible. So I'm still not sure what I want in terms of eye shape. But I'm getting a slightly better feel for how to make a face not suck. So let's try this. Actually, going to go for a smaller pupil this time. Then we have our nose. Feels wrong. What are some strong expressions there? I should keep this open to here. Yeah, we want nice big open mouth. That's cool. And then we have our chin coming down like that. Okay. Not a huge fan. Why not? That's definitely doing that, but oh, okay. So one issue is that eyes don't actually look like that. They should be more like that. That looks a little better. Okay. Also seeing a slight curve to those things. So I think one of my other problems is, again, let's just do a curve, simple curve, another simple curve. Hello, Yuki Dog Zombie. Let's do this. Let's do a slight curve underneath. Then again, we'll do a smaller, much smaller pupil, looking up a little bit. Yeah. Are my eyes drifting far apart? Yeah, a little bit. Let's close them in. And then an under curve like that. And then our circle coming around like that. Is that going to look better? It does feel a little better. And then we'll curve that here. And then curve that down like that. Does that feel like a person? Yeah, it feels weird. Like, I think you could make a character out of that. Man, so that feels a little better. I feel like the curve underneath is a bit too strong. I'm just trying to get better at drawing in general. I'm kind of trying to come up with an art style thing that doesn't look terrible. Instead of just doing fan art all the time, I kind of feel like it's time for me to figure out, like, how to draw in kind of that fundamental level. How to draw a face. Let's do this. Do a line underneath. We'll do a slight curve to it. Do a nice big circle there for the eyes. Interesting expression there. I'm beginning to think that my problem here actually is more trying to do a basically my lines are too simple. I'm thinking in terms of lines, not in terms of three-dimensionality. So and we'll create our jawline. Used to do this back in the day. Kind of helped to figure out where all these things went. So they're saying you have, yeah, so if that's the center of the circle, then the eyes and ears go a little bit lower than that. So I'm going to draw. So there's our center. There's the top of our eyes. There's the bottom of our eyes. We'll just do some big old pupils there. Give it a little check for the mouth. That's getting an expression that I'm not displeased with. And then we'll need ridiculous anime hair. Where does ridiculous anime hair go? This is a bald character. Facial expression, hair. How to position hair, how to draw hair. Where? Okay. I'm going to do sort of a thing here, and then I think we're going to go with hair is difficult, y'all. And the ears again are going to be around here. And we'll kind of come up here. We'll do just sort of general lines to represent those. I don't know if this is helping me at all. Please give art tips. Any suggestions are good. So I can, I can copy existing art. I can do fan art pretty well. Maybe I just need to copy more. But I feel like just trying to go original is not really helping me much. Okay, so first off, let me make this hair not completely suck. I know how to do hair well. Or at least not that badly. There we go. And same thing up here. I can improve that. So in fact, also we can see this is moving a bit to the right, so we want the nose to be more like that. And the jawline is not great, so we might do something more like this. So this might turn out not terrible. I would need another bit of hair like that. Yeah, and obviously we'd have the hair's not great. That's a lot of advice. That's the thing. I tried that I've tried drawing human anatomy, and I draw people, and they look more or less like people. Then I come back to draw something else, and it just doesn't help. I don't know. It's okay, Yuki. It's just I don't know how to translate that into practical, day to day, um, you know, what to do next physically. Um, as I have, I mean, you know, I got this stuff, and I tried drawing this stuff, and it looks okay. And I try to draw something original, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I feel discouraged. Not because of you, Yuki. And it's funny. As soon as I draw fan art, folks are like, "You gonna do original stuff?" And it's like I'd like to, but this is what happens. So maybe I just do fan art for a while, and that is the typical Japanese approach, where you just kind of copy the way other people do it, and then eventually your own style emerges. So yeah, so this is what I need to do. So now, granted, this is better than I used to be. I'm certainly picking up tips and tricks, but what I need to do now is an intensive study of one artist. And I think I talked about this before, and I considered it, but I keep coming back and forth to things. I considered Sadamoto, but I'm not a huge fan of the way he does his things. I guess the question is, what would be the artist I want to follow? Well, it could be YKK. Let me just do an intense, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a page. I'm actually going to document it here so folks can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to take a manga. One moment while I pull some of this up. Do you know what I'm talking about? That'd be kind of useful if you all know what I'm talking about, don't you think? So I think I'm just going to take this manga and I'm going to start copying it. Not tracing it, but doing these characters one after the other. And just do a bunch of panels from this manga. And study this art style, study the way this is done. And then maybe after I've done that, maybe I've drawn this manga for a long time, I'll have a better sense of that anatomy. Because one of the things I like about this artist style is that it is reasonably grounded in human anatomy. I mean, it's simplified, obviously, but it's not so it's not too abstract. It's not too strange of an art style. You can still see the anatomy behind it. You can still see the characters. Yeah, this is a Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko. So I think this is going to have to be my sensei for a while. I'm going to redraw these characters, and then once I get through, it may not be this chapter of the manga or this issue. I'll look through and see. And again, it's not that this is going to necessarily be my style moving forward, but I think just by copying and practicing an existing style, I think that would help. So, all right, that's going to do it for Drawing Inward for tonight. This just isn't really working out for me, and Stomach is not too happy. But I'm going to be back online in a little while to do another video in the World Building Wednesday series, because we're going to finish that out. Actually, I have a topic around literacy we want to talk about. But that's going to be it for this week. We'll be back next week. I'm going to keep on doing this. This is not a helpful evening in the sense of drawing skills, but I have a path forward. So I think I'm going to start the Yokohama project next week. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Your advice again is helpful. I just need to find a way of going forward. I did think for a while about doing like an anatomy lesson every week, including a drawing lesson, but that didn't seem really helpful to me. But maybe it'll be helpful. Who knows? No, you're fine, Yuki Dog Zombie. Like I said, I appreciate the advice. It's just that and you are correct. I just don't know how to translate that into like the next thing to do. But yeah, we'll do Yokohama and maybe some anatomy. We'll see. Anyway, thank you, and we'll be back next week to draw something.